It's supposed to feel.
Yo, how's it going, everybody? Jim Rosati, Northside Notch. I am solo tonight. Tyler and DiNardo decided that, I guess, since I took the last couple days off, I gotta do this one by myself. But let's get right to it. The Pirates lose 5-4. It was a pretty fun game to watch, but they lose in extra innings, come up short. Back and forth game, especially towards the end of it. But they drop it 5-4 in 10 innings. We're going to talk a lot about JT Brubaker's start, but really ultimately the loss kind of fell on the shoulders of the Pirates bullpen. They came in, Brubaker went 7 scoreless innings. I said we'll get to that, but bullpen came in. Dwayne Underwood Jr. gave up 2 runs in the 8th inning. Pirates took the lead in the top of the 10th to go up 4-2 going into the bottom half. And David Bednar just, again, doesn't really look like himself and gives up 3 runs in the bottom half of the 10th inning for the Pirates to drop this one. So they were on a roll. They had won 4 in a row. It looked like they were going to win 5 in a row today, but just turned out not to be. Bullpen just, quite frankly, couldn't get it done. So I want to start off, though. Let's talk a little bit about the positive here. JT Brubaker tonight was outstanding, possibly his best start of his entire career. He goes 7 innings, gives up just 3 hits, walks 2 batters, strikes out 9, and doesn't give up a run. Does all that with about 99 pitches, 66 of those thrown for strikes. He had career highs in swings and misses. He had 15 swings and misses today. That sinker just was on. There were multiple times I remember, batter swinging on an inside sinker that was running in on the hands and just completely jammed them up. Just what a game by Brubaker. And so he exits the game. The Pirates have a 1-0 lead going into the 8th. But again, probably the best we've seen of him. His last 10 games, let me see if I can get the stat. Alex Stumpf from DK Pittsburgh Sports tweeted out kind of where he was at over his last 10 starts. I mean, he really has been incredible. So last 10 starts, he's thrown 58 innings, and he's got a 3.10 earned run average. So just an outstanding stretch of pitching so far by JT Brubaker. So it's nice to see. He lowers his season ERA to 4.02 on the year. We've seen flashes of JT Brubaker really ever since he got called up, where he can put together good outings, right? But then things always kind of come undone. He gives up a lot of home runs. That's really been his downfall, and walks. Those have really been his issues over his career. Last year, started off strong in that first half and then just kind of tapered off in the second half. I think he was just really just getting tired for the most part. But today, I thought he could have maybe even gone out for the 8th inning. He wasn't even at 100 pitches. He was so efficient towards the end of that outing. I think he threw 6 pitches in the 6th inning. So just absolutely dominating this Marlins lineup. And let's get this, let's get this out of the way. This Marlins lineup isn't all that great. They without Jazz Chisholm, not a lot in this lineup to really get too excited about. But I mean, Brubaker just absolutely, he was masterful. Yeah, Anthony, hurry up and trade Brubaker while his ERA looks like a real starting pitcher's. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm probably not anywhere near trading JT Brubaker. With he's still pretty young. He looks good. This team obviously needs starting pitchers. Brubaker looks like a guy who could potentially be part of your starting rotation in the years to come. So he looked excellent tonight. He out-dueled Miami's starting pitcher. He's having a pretty good year to himself, but I hope DiNardo took the over on Pablo Lopez strikeouts tonight, because Pablo Lopez did not pitch as well as JT Brubaker. So Pablo Lopez is DiNardo's boy. I called him just a guy earlier in the year, and he just strikes out 3 batters today. He only goes 5 innings on the night too. But yeah, Brubaker outshined Pablo Lopez easily. So excellent start from Brubaker. Like I said, he's on a stretch right now where he's looking really good. Like I said, 10 starts, 3.1 ERA or something like that in 10 starts. Like you can't ask for much more than that. So he, like I said, excellent outing. After that, Dwayne Underwood Jr. comes in, right? Underwood Jr.'s looked pretty solid his last few outings. Today started the inning great. His 8th inning, he got 2 outs, but then he gives up there was a walk. Let me get the play-by-play here. He goes in his inning, strikeout, line out, hit by pitch, walk, hit by pitch. So he gets those 2 outs pretty quickly. Then he loads up the bases, and then he gives up a 2-run single to relinquish the lead and put the Marlins ahead. So at that point, it was, the Pirates had this 1-0 lead, thanks to really O'Neill Cruz got on base with work to walk. He stole second, and then Ben Gamble hit him in with really the first hit of the game. So first hit of the game for Ben Gamble gave the Pirates the lead. And Sid Garcia ended up with a 2-run single off of Underwood Jr., all with 2 outs in the 8th inning. So at that point, you're like, did we just waste Brubaker's start? That was kind of what I was thinking there. But then the Pirates come out in the 9th and make things very interesting. Vogelbach starts off the 9th inning with a walk. Brian Hayes also walked. So you got runners on first and second, nobody out, down by 1 in the 9th. And then they pinch hit Michael Chavis. Actually, I guess Chavis had entered the game earlier, but Chavis hitting against the lefty, doubles to score Vogelbach, who barely scored from second base on the double. He was huffing and puffing, running around those bases. Tyler, if he were on right now, would probably be making fun of the way Vogie was trucking around the bases there. But Michael Chavis gets the job done. He ties the game up in the 9th inning with a double, scores Vogelbach. Hayes gets to third, and then you're like, all right, we're looking pretty right now. Runners on second and third, nobody out. But then O'Neill Cruz pops up, Ben Gamble strikes out, and Jack Sawinski flies out. So those runners get stranded, and I mean, if we're being honest here, that kind of cost that could have potentially cost the game there. The Marlins go down in the bottom of the 9th. Yerry De Los Santos pitches another clean inning, looks good. He hit his first batter of the inning, so he put somebody on base, but then he got out of it. Really nice play from O'Neill Cruz in the 9th inning too, where he slid to his left and then threw a dart across the infield to get the second out of the inning. So he helped make up for that pop up in the top of the 9th, but getting more in that top of the 9th inning would have been really nice. So nice inning from De Los Santos, 2-2 going into extra innings, and then really things get kind of wild in the 10th inning for both teams. So you get the Mickey Mouse rules where you got the runner starting on second base. That runner was Jack Sawinski. So Jack Sawinski starts off on second base. Jason DeLay tries to lay down bunts a couple of times, but just can't get it done. 2 strikes. He ends up actually getting on base, though. He chops one on the left side. It's rolled an infield single. So you got now first and second. And then Jake Marisnick lays down the bunt to move the runners over. But it was a really good bunt. So Jake Marisnick lays down like a perfect bunt. And, there's not even a play at first base. So Marisnick gets a bunt single. You've now got bases loaded, nobody outs in that 10th inning with Kevin Newman, everybody's favorite guy, Kevin Newman up to bat. Newman strikes out swinging. How predictable. Not the best game from Kevin Newman tonight. He came in for Van Meter late in the game, but that leadoff spot between Van Meter and Kevin Newman, 0 for 5. Not necessarily what you want out of that. But so Newman strikes out, so you got bases loaded, 1 out, and then Daniel Vogelbach is up. He drives in the go-ahead run with a ground ball to second base, so it's kind of in the hole between the first baseman and the second baseman. Not able to turn 2, so the out is made, and Vogelbach drives in the run. Ke'Bryan Hayes next up, just ropes one to center field, scores Jason DeLay. And this is where, I guess you could say, I guess we can have some debate on this. Jake Marisnick is sent home on the Ke'Bryan Hayes single, and Marisnick is thrown out at the plate. It wasn't necessarily very close either. It wasn't like a situation from the other night where Kevin Newman was thrown out by like 40 feet. Like it wasn't that. But Marisnick was out. It was a really hard hit ball by Hayes. It was a perfect throw by, let's see, who was playing center field at that time for Miami. Jesus Sanchez. So perfect throw from Jesus Sanchez. Nails Jake Marisnick at the plate to end the top of the 9th. Now at this point, I'm like, you know what? I probably would have sent him. We can get on Mike Rebello. He hasn't made the greatest decisions, forever. But I was okay with the decision to send Marisnick just simply because it would have taken like a pretty good throw to make the play. Like make them make the play. There were 2 outs. You've got a 2-run lead. Let's try to expand it to 3. I was fine with the send, even though it didn't work out. Ultimately, that's another thing that potentially cost the Pirates the game there, though. Because we go to the bottom of the 9th next. And you now have David Bednar entering the game, who, he had that little back injury, but really ever since coming back from the back injury, he's looked a little bit better. He's looked more like regular David Bednar. He has blown up a couple of times, though, in the last month. But, with a 2-run lead, you're probably feeling pretty confident with David Bednar out there. But he immediately gets himself into trouble. So again, Mickey Mouse rolls. You got the runner on second. Bednar gives up a single. De La Cruz holds at third. He doesn't go around. Billy Hamilton then bunts, and this is where things got wild again. Bunts down the third baseline. De La Cruz breaks for the plate. Ke'Bryan Hayes has him just dead. So Hayes makes the play, makes the first out at home. So you're now looking at 1 out, first and second, 2-run lead. So again, you're looking pretty good at this point. But then again, like the Marlins just kept hitting off of Bednar. So John Birdie singles, Jesus Aguilar singles, and then you got an intentional walk to load the bases at that point. But, you got a tie game now. Tie game, 1 out, bases loaded. There is an O'Neill Cruz makes a play on when he was playing in. You could argue maybe you should have tried turning 2. But again, if you don't turn 2, the game's over. Like winning run scores. So instead, Cruz goes home, gets the out at home, 2 outs. And then a wild pitch is how this game ends. So it ends on a David Bednar wild pitch that scores Aguilar from third. Just kind of not the ending to the game that you want. Yeah, it's I'm not like to the point where I'm concerned, right? So Anthony says here, it's not the outcome, it's the lack of swings and misses, with Bednar. I'm not to the point yet where I'm like concerned with Bednar, but I will say this. Like, I am looking forward to the All-Star break. Like, David Bednar is somebody who really can probably take advantage of those days off. I'm kind of disappointed that he's the Pirates representative because, he may be asked to throw an inning in that game when really he could probably use rest days to kind of just reset. But situation the Pirates are in, they really don't have too many people who are worthy of being named to the All-Star game. So David Bednar it is, right? But I really would like to see Bednar kind of take that break off. So we'll see. It's always fun to see your guy get in the All-Star game and actually pitch and contribute to the team. But in the Pirates case, like Bednar needs a break. Like I think Bednar needs a break. I probably would have put him on the IL, when this back thing came up originally. Like, just give him some time off, give him 2 weeks off. They decided against that, but here we are. I said should have been the 5th win in a row, but they can't take it in. But Connor Williams wins. This team disgusts me. I mean, it's frustrating. It's frustrating for sure because you had multiple chances in today's game where like you really thought that they had this in the bag. In the 8th inning, you wouldn't have never expected to lose that lead in the 8th inning. Underwood Jr. got 2 quick outs, and then all of a sudden he's hitting people, he's walking people, and next thing you know, you're down by 2 runs, right? So that was kind of the first instance where it was, man, like, come on, guys. And then in the 9th, you're thinking, all right, we're in a good spot. Bases loaded, tie game, nobody out, and they can't push across a second run in that top of the 9th. And then in the 10th, you get 2 runs, and you're thinking, all right, we're looking good. We're up by 2. We got Bednar coming in, and then they blow it again. So those last 3 innings, kind of like a roller coaster of emotions between that bottom of the 8th, that top of the 9th, top of the 10th, bottom of the 10th. It just wasn't meant to be today. And it's just a shame because they wasted just an unbelievable start by Brubaker. So I kind of keep having to go back to that. Like, he just looked so good today. Really, like I said, best I think I've ever seen him look. Like, 7 scoreless innings and just absolutely dominating. Like, it's not like he was skating around anything. Like, he dominated throughout those 7 innings. That comment is about Yoshi, and I mentioned it during the game too. Like I said, the reason why we ended up being in this situation late in the game because the offense didn't really do anything until the 9th inning. Going into the 9th inning, the offense had 2 hits, one of which was the Ben Gamel RBI, and the other one was, I think, Jake Marisnik had a single. So that was it. That was all there was going into the 9th. And I mean, they were getting on base with some walks, but they really couldn't get anything going. You mentioned Yoshi 0 for 3 with a strikeout. He really was just awful today at the plate. I don't know how you can justify 1, playing him, and 2, batting him cleanup. Like, what is Yoshi he has a 254 slugging percentage, and you're just slotting him into the most important part of your lineup when it comes to having power. You've got this guy who is essentially now he's turned himself into a slap hitter. Like, the guy has no power. He tries to hit everything. He just slaps it the other way. That's all he is right now. And he's not even good at it because he can't get hits that way. So can't hit home runs, can't hit for power, can't get singles. Like, I don't know how much longer you can justify Yoshi being on this team. you've got you got like that right-handed side of the platoon on lockdown. Like Chavis again showing today how valuable he can be against left-handed pitchers. The guy rakes against left-handed pitchers. He can't hit righties though. So you got to figure something out for when you face a right-handed pitcher in that first base spot. Like someone has to step up, and Yoshi is just not that guy. I think and I mean, I've seen enough. Like I saw enough before the injury, and now that he's back, I've seen enough. He's just, the approach hasn't changed. He doesn't pull the ball at all. He can't hit the ball with any sort of authority. And like, this is your first baseman. This is a guy who's supposed to provide power in your lineup, and they're just getting absolutely nothing out of him. So, I mean, they face another lefty tomorrow, so that probably means no Yoshi in the lineup tomorrow. But man, I just don't know how long they can keep him on the team. Like, and I get you need another lefty, and it would be nice if Mason Martin was that guy. Mason Martin can't be that guy because he's just been really bad in AAA the last month or so. But like, I'd like to see them maybe get a little bit creative with that position. Maybe you throw Vogelbach at first base a couple times. Maybe you see what like Bly Madris can do at first base, because Bly also, got a few starts at first base in Indy. Maybe Bly's the short-term answer to that platoon. I've been saying, maybe Cal Mitchell can play first base. Ben Gamble, so you've got all it's I always think about, like, in Moneyball, they have that conversation with Scott Hatteberg, right? And it's like, well, how easy is it to play first base? It's super easy. And it's like, no, it's really hard. It's not. First base is easy. It's the easiest position on the diamond. You don't have to move. You just got to catch balls that are thrown in your general vicinity. Like if you can scoop short hops and field ground balls, relatively easy, you can play first base. Like it's the easiest position to play. So they got to find another answer. They got to find a left-handed bat who can play first base competently, because right now Yoshi just is not it. He's costing this team games because he's just, you're plugging him right into the middle of your lineup and he's doing nothing. So yeah, I mean, it's so easy. First base is so easy. Josh Bell can do it. That's a good way of putting it. So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to harp on Yoshi. We've done it over and over and over again. I think pretty much everybody is sick and tired of watching Yoshi. But yeah, man, I mean, I if he's still here after the All-Star break, and if he's not, especially the trade deadline, like if he's still there, I don't know what they're doing. Like obviously you're not going to trade him. Like you're going to have to DFA him, but there's just no reason to play him. I'd rather see Bly, Mitchell, Gamble, Vogie, anybody, like any left-handed bat who could potentially play the position. I'd rather see them. Let's see what else we want to talk about tonight. We didn't talk a ton about Cruz. He didn't have the best day at the plate, but when we're talking about that one run Pirates had, it was, I mean, Cruz made that run happen. He draws the walk, he steals second, and then he scores with ease on a base hit. So, he kind of helped manufacture that run that the Pirates did have going into the eighth inning, that 1-run lead. Defensively today, I think he looked really good. He made a nice play to his left. I'd probably agree with his decision to throw home on. I don't know if people are who's blaming Cruz on Twitter. No, that's stupid. If it's the 10th inning, like if he doesn't turn two on that ground ball in the 10th inning, then the game's over. So he at least kept the game going with that play. Again, like the slide definitely was a great play. he looked good today overall. I think it's funny, just that he's been very competent at shortstop, and he's made plays that have been great, and that was kind of the whole excuse to keep him down all along. But right now it's just the bat just needs to come around. You just need to see more consistency out of him. Again, he did draw a walk today, which is nice. We want to see more and more walks. But yeah, I mean, I agree with Jesse here. Jesse Cruz should be batting leadoff 100%. Because here's what's happening. Like, if you bat Josh Van Meter started at leadoff today, right? And then you pinch hit Kevin Newman for Josh Van Meter. So Josh Van Meter and Kevin Newman get 5 plate appearances today. Guess who only had 4? O'Neal Cruz. If you're not like, I want to see O'Neal Cruz at the plate as often as possible. And the way you accomplish that is that you make him lead off. And then you're also like, he's the first batter of the game. The pitcher's kind of not even really in a groove yet. Like, Ronald Acuna Jr. bats leadoff for the Braves. And there's no reason why, like, your best hitter needs to bat 4th or 5th. Or 3rd. Like, your best hitter can bat first. And I think that's a good spot for Cruz to be in. So, and then just like where they're hitting him, every lineup that they've had so far, he's got Yoshi hitting in front of him. He's got Vogelbach hitting in front of him. He's got these guys that just clog up the base paths. If they get on base, they're clogging up the bases in front of Cruz. So, yeah, I think I'm fully in favor of leadoff Cruz, and I want to get him as much playing time as possible so he can see as much pitching as possible. Exactly. There you go. I think plate appearances is the point. Cruz plays every day. They use that extra plate appearance for guys who sit the bench part of the week. Exactly. Like, Josh Van Meter and Kevin Newman shouldn't be hitting in front of O'Neal Cruz. Neither should Yoshi Susugo. Those guys, there's just no excuse. Those guys can't be getting more plate appearances than O'Neal Cruz. It's stupid. Gosh, that's all I'm going to really say, though, today. I said Pirates lose 5-4. We're almost 30 minutes in. I've just been talking to myself for 30 minutes, so... let's see. Tomorrow, this was a 4-game series with the Marlins. So they play tomorrow, see if they can take the series. It's a 12-10 game. Let's see who we got. Zach Thompson on the mound for the Pirates and Braxton Garrett on the mound for the Marlins. Again, another lefty pitcher for the Marlins, Braxton Garrett. So we'll see. We'll see Chavis tomorrow. We'll see Marisnik tomorrow. We've seen Marisnik the whole series, but we'll see. I would imagine Cruz gets another lefty, but yeah, a lot of lefties in this series that we've been seeing. Milwaukee pitched, I think, 2 lefties too. So hopefully we run into some more right-handed pitching come this Colorado series. Which, quick look, looks like 2 out of the 3 in Colorado are gonna be right-handed. So that's good. But again, day game tomorrow, 12-10, Miami, Zach Thompson, Braxton Garrett. We will not have a post-game show. Everyone's pissed and Tyler isn't even here. We won't have a post-game show tomorrow because it is a day game, but we will have our NS9 live tomorrow night. So just stay tuned for that. It'll actually be all of us. We'll all be on there. So you'll be able to hear me. You'll be able to hear Tyler. You'll be able to hear DiNardo. We'll have fun. We haven't been able to have one of those in a while because the Pirates have been playing Thursday night games, and so we've just been doing post-game shows. So NS9 live tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. Again, hopefully the Pirates can finish off this Miami series, take 3 of 4. Zach Thompson's been, a little hit or miss here lately, but hopefully he can have a hit tomorrow. Marlins lineup, hopefully not great, just like it was today, and see what we can do. But the Pirates fall to 38-51 on the year with today's loss. Still third place in the NL Central. Again, they lose 5-4 in 10 innings. David Bednar picks up the loss. He goes to 3-3 on the year, his 4th blown save of the season. So That'll do it for today. Again, Jim Rosati on the NS9 Postgame Show, brought to you by Pittsburgh Baseball Now. Have a good one, everybody.